So my guest today is one of the most talked about vegan bloggers. I'm so pleased that you're here, Sean O'Callaghan, otherwise known as Fat Gay Vegan. Thank you very much for coming down.
Thank you for having me here.
Now, I am a recent vegan. I've been a vegetarian since I was probably about 8 or 9. Went vegan when I was about 19, 20. Found it really difficult at the time, but now I've gone back to it. So I'm a new vegan, have been for about 3 months now, and I found your blogs really educational and helpful. So I just want to say thank you for kind of giving me the light, giving me a bit of a path.
Okay.
It's a lot easier.
Okay, well, thank you for going vegan and making that choice for the animals. I think it's wonderful.
So how did you start? I've read a lot about you, but for the people that are watching that don't know much about you and haven't read your blogs,
okay,
where did it all begin?
So where did I start as a vegan blogger? Or would you like me to go back to my childhood in a caravan park by the ocean at Summer Bay in Australia?
Yeah, it's like the psychiatrist's couch, isn't it?
Right. Well, if I go way back in time... well, no, I did grow up in Australia, and that's where I turned vegetarian. And I thought I was the height of compassion, being vegetarian, as many of us do. But it wasn't until I moved to the UK and I started to have internet access. Not that we didn't have it in Australia. I don't mean that at all. I don't know. I haven't been there in a while. They still might not have it. I'm not sure.
Air punching for the UK.
yeah.
We've got internet.
You've got internet. No, it was around the time we had AOL dial-up and, Billy Piper was on the box all the time. Around that, to give you a sort of a framework of the time period. The Honeys. I'll just run through a few of my favorite pop bands from the time. But I thought I knew everything about animal compassion and welfare, and then I started to access information on the internet, and I started to hear the word vegan, which I didn't really understand before that. And then I started to go find out there were some vegan festivals in London, and it was amazing. It was like someone had lifted the veil off my head, and I suddenly understood that I wasn't being as compassionate as I could be. And it all started from there for my vegan journey. Right.
It was your sister, wasn't it, that helped you as well?
Yeah, well, my sister and I would fight a lot. She was living with me in London, and when I found out that some wine and beer was filtered using animal products, and when I was still eating cheese, she would take no small delight in ribbing me and telling me that I was a hypocrite, and we would argue until one day it's like a light went on in my head, and I was like, you know what, I really am a hypocrite for doing this. If I want to do the best I can do for animals, well, step one is to not eat the byproducts. And it was amazing. It was overnight. I just was like, okay, I'm not vegetarian anymore. To me that means nothing. I'm vegan, and I'm going to be vegan for the rest of my life.
That's kind of how I became a vegan again, because the first time I did it, I really wasn't aware of the horrors of the dairy industry in particular, and I just this time around I just thought it was just a natural progression. I feel it's a lot easier this time around as well. Obviously, because a lot of shops are selling more vegan products, processed products, to make it easier to eat, when you're in a hurry. But my partner, I know that your partner's vegan as well, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
I'm not trying to convince him to be a vegan, because I think everyone's got their own choice, but he does eat a lot of vegetarian food with me when I cook, and when he cooks he does it, but he's struggling with certain vegan products. Well, he hates vegan cheese.
Give him 3 months and then break up with him.
That's quite severe.
Just kidding. I hope your partner doesn't blame me if something does go wrong, but no, I find that an interesting point, actually. Josh and I have been in a relationship for, I think, about 18 years now, and we both went vegan at the same time, and we were both vegetarian when we met. I can't imagine what it would be like dating non-vegans now. I mean, I wouldn't want to walk into the kitchen and see my partner with their fist inside a turkey or something.